Good afternoon, and this is koolNews at noon. I'm Caro, and let's get into the top headlines. Six people reportedly died due to the combined effects of Tropical Storm Freddy and the southwest monsoon, locally known as Habagat. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council on Sunday said these deaths are still up for validation. The council likewise disclosed that 22 people were injured, while two are missing. The recent weather disturbance also affected 203,197 individuals or 47,166 families in 292 barangays nationwide, based on the NDRRMC's 8 a.m. report. Among the affected persons, 36,626 people were displaced, with 30,825 fleeing to evacuation centers, while 22,801 took shelter elsewhere. Freddy has left the Philippine area of responsibility at 2 a.m. on Saturday. Meanwhile, Habagat continues to affect the western parts of the country as a new low-pressure area formed east of the zone. Additionally, the weather agency monitored cloud clusters outside PAR, which may likely have a circulation within 24 to 48 hours. Due to the effects of the new LPA, a gale warning was hosted in the following areas that may experience strong winds as high as 3.7 to 4.5 meters. So here are the following list: Occidental Mindoro, Palawan, Rambon, East Western Visayas, Negros Island Region, Central Visayas, Southern Leyte, Zamboanga del Norte, Camiguin, and Dinagat Island, and Surigao del Norte. Meanwhile, let's get into the headlines from around the world as thousands took to the streets across French cities on Saturday to demand an end to rape and support the main drift in the mass sexual assault trial that has shocked the country. Gisele Bilacot, who is using her married name, has requested the trial of her ex-husband and 50 co-defendants since September to be made public to raise awareness about the use of drugs to commit abuse. Dominique Billicot, her partner of around 5 decades, has admitted to drugging her for years to rape her or watch her being raped while unconscious by thousands of strangers he recruited online. The case has horrified France, especially as many of the co-accused are seemingly ordinary men with everyday jobs, and several of these suspects remain at large. "We are all Gisele," a large crowd chanted in the capital Paris. "Rapist, we see you. Victim, we see you." In the southern city of Marseille, activists hung up a banner on the city's court building calling for alleged perpetrators, not victims, to be ashamed. "Shame must change sides," it read, echoing Gisele Billicot's own words through one of her lawyers. Justine Imbert, age 24, had come with her 6-year-old daughter. "It must have taken huge courage, but it was essential for Gisele Billicot to request the trial be public," she said. "It allows people to see the face of her husband and all the others to see they are not outcasts but good fathers." Retiree Marie-Dean Ragon, age 74, said she was there to call out rape culture, referring to an environment in which sexual violence is normalized. "The media coverage of the trial will allow us to speak up about it," she said. In the western city of Rennes, a young woman held up a sign with the sentence, "Protect your daughters," crossed out. "Educate your son," it read instead. In the central city of Sermon-Ferrand, 26-year-old agricultural worker Stéphane Beauferet said he hoped Gisele Billicot would find justice. "When I read the story, I was disgusted, even disgusted to be a man," he said. France's cinema industry has been rocked by allegations of sexual assault in recent years, including several against film legend Gerard Depardieu. But the trial in the southern city of Avignon has drawn attention on rape in everyday society. Among the protesters in Paris was Charlotte Arnault, an actor who had accused Depardieu of raping her in 2018 when she was 22 and anorexic. The 74-year-old has been the 74-year-old actor has been charged with rape in the case since 2020, and prosecutors last month called for him to face trial. Demonstrators in the capital also included the author of a book denouncing incest, Camille Locher, and lawmaker Sandrine Rousseau, who last year accused a senator of drugging her with the aim of assaulting her. Hmm. Limit, sorry, limited capacity is keeping mpox testing coverage low in the DR Congo, the epicenter of the international emergency, the World Health Organization said Saturday in its latest situation report. Testing coverage in the Democratic Republic of the Congo remains low due to limited testing capacity, the UN Health Agency said in its update. It said the mpox case fatality ratio in the DRC in 2024 was 0.5% among confirmed cases, or 25 deaths from 5,160 cases, and 3.3% among suspected cases, both tested and untested, or 717 deaths among 21,835 cases. Due to limited access to laboratory testing in remote areas, only about 40% of all suspected cases have been tested in 2024, up from 9% in 2023, and among these, around 55% tested positive, the WHO said. It said the three countries reporting the most suspected cases in the year up to September 8 were the DRC, followed by Brunei with 1,489 suspected cases, no deaths, and Nigeria, 935 suspected cases, no deaths. There are two clades of mpox, each with A and B subclades. The WHO said the clades and their subclades were circulating in different geographic areas and were affecting different populations, and therefore needed tailored and locally adapted outbreak responses. The WHO declared an international emergency over mpox on August 14, concerned by the surge in cases of the new clade 1B strain in the DRC that spread to nearby countries. In the DRC, clade 1B has been detected chiefly in the eastern South Kivu and North Kivu province, with additional cases in the Kinshasa capital province. Current sequencing capacity in the DRC is limited, and clade distribution might be broader than what is currently known, the WHO said. Clade 1B has also been detected in the DRC's eastern neighbors Burundi, Rwanda, and Uganda, plus Kenya. Additionally, a single case has been detected in Sweden and another in Thailand. Looking at global vaccine availability, the WHO said more than 3.6 million doses have been pledged for a global response, including more than 620,000 doses of the MVA-BN vaccine by European countries, the United States, and manufacturer Bavarian Nordic. Meanwhile, Japan has pledged 3 million doses of the LC-16 vaccine. To date, 265,000 MVA-BN doses have been delivered to Kinshasa, while 10,000 have gone to Nigeria. And a woman in China was horrified after reportedly finding a human tooth inside a meat-filled mooncake she had bought from supermarket Sam's Club in Changshu, in eastern China's Jiangsu. The woman took to Chinese video sharing platform Douyin on September 5 to share a video of an unexpected discovery she said she had made while eating the mooncake, which was purchased at 30 yuan. In the video, a hand is seen holding what resembles a human molar with meat filling lodged in it on a piece of tissue over a half-eaten pastry. My family is ate this just now. Look at what they ate. It's terrifying, a voice can be heard say. The tooth, she said, did not belong to any of her family members. She swiftly reported the incident to the police, like China Morning Post reported on September 14th. One Dongying user commented that it was repulsive to find someone else's tooth in a moon cake. On social media platform X, where the video was also shared, a user quipped, "It not only contains meat but also provides calcium." According to a Sanctum Evening News report, Sam's Club, a U.S. supermarket chain, has launched an internal investigation. Meanwhile, the mooncake manufacturer, which is not named, is adamant that such an incident is impossible, quote unquote, media outlet Chongqing News reported. According to a spokesperson surnamed Lu, all meat used in its products is truly minced and checked with X-ray technology to detect bone fragments, making the presence of a human tooth seem highly unlikely. Lu claimed that this type of issue had never occurred in more than a decade of production. Surveillance footage from the manufacturer has been handed over to Sam's Club and the local regulatory authorities. It is now 12:12 in the afternoon, and coolers at noon. We'll be right back. Welcome back to koolNews at noon. Let's continue with the headlines from around the world. In a 2022 Interpol video, Mr. Kichitai Wong Li Bong Won from Thailand's Department of National Parks walked around piles of illegally logged timber. At 290 US dollars or 380 Singaporean dollars per kilograms, a 59 kilograms bag of agra wood could easily fetch about 14,500 US dollars, he says. The video did not mention whether the proceeds from this crime could have been laundered. But if dirty money from such crimes were to pass through Singapore, the Republic will soon have powers to investigate it. In August, Parliament passed a new bill that allows state authorities to investigate illicit gains from a wider range of foreign serious environmental offenses such as illegal logging, mining, and waste trafficking. This represents a significant expansion of powers. Previously, the authorities could track tainted funds from foreign environmental crimes only if they were also serious offenses under Singapore's laws, such as wildlife trafficking. Minister for Digital Development and Information Josephine Teo told Parliament in August that the authorities face limitations in investigating illegal logging, mining, and waste trafficking as they are not applicable in Singapore's context. But as these crimes are some of the largest contributors to transnational organized criminal activities in the East Asia and Pacific region, there is a high likelihood of funds from such crimes flowing into Singapore, said Mr. Teo, who is also Second Minister for Home Affairs. A 2021 report by the Financial Action Task Force, a global financial crime watchdog, said environmental offenses generate up to $265 billion in criminal gains annually. Of this figure, 66% comes from forestry crime, illegal mining, and waste trafficking. When asked what prompted the new laws, the Ministry of Home Affairs said, "As a responsible member of the international community, we need to do our part to help tackle this global problem. The legislative amendments will allow us to do so." Mr. Tong Chi-kun, partner and co-head of fraud, asset recovery, and investigations practice at law firm Raja and Tan, said the expanded scope of the laws allows for greater cooperation with foreign counterparts, which could result in prosecutions both in Singapore and overseas. Additionally, with wildlife trade offenses listed as serious offenses under the Organized Crime Act from August 30, offenders could receive enhanced penalties of up to 20 years jail and will have their ill-gotten gains confiscated. MHA said while past cases did not show links to organized crime growth in Singapore, this change in laws could deter criminals from trading in wildlife here. Environmental groups have stressed up going after the money as a vital step in stemming environmental crimes. Mr. Ronnie Ong enjoyed cycling regularly along the Sembawang Park connector, but the 60-year-old's literally ride on July 4, 2022 was tragically his last after he was attacked by hornets and died in hospital 3 days later. State Coroner Adam Nakhoda delivered his findings on Mr. Ong's death on September 13, ruling it a tragic misadventure. At around 11:40 a.m. on July 4, 2022, Mr. Ong was cycling along the park connector near the Sembawang God of Wealth Temple in Admiralty Street when he encountered a swarm of hornets. It is believed that the hornet nest, some 12 meters up in the tree along the path, could have just been attacked by a predator, causing part of it to fall to the ground. The hornets, which were identified as Vespa affinis or the lesser-banded hornet, are not typically known to be aggressive. But because their nest had been disturbed, this one could have become defensive and attacked Mr. Ong as he walked past. He was stung multiple times but kept cycling until he managed to get past them. Then he stopped at a nearby block and called his wife. He told her he felt gritty and his throat was sore after being chased by the swarm. His wife called an ambulance and also went to look for him. At around 12:15 p.m., she found him at the block and saw that he had multiple sting marks on his body when he removed his shirt. She gave him a drink as he said he was thirsty and his throat hurt. The paramedics arrived at about 12:20 p.m. and took him to Kehutekpuat Hospital. She was checked and showed no signs of an allergic reaction but was kept under observation. The hospital was also told about his existing heart condition, including a stent that was inserted into an artery in 2014. A blood test later showed he was suffering from progressive organ failure, and despite measures taken to treat him, there were signs of severe kidney injury. The coroner noted that there are no antibiotics for general insect venom. Mr. Ong was warded in the intensive care unit where he became drowsy and had to be sedated, intubated, and connected to the medical ventilator. In the early hours of July 7, 2022, his condition deteriorated and he died that day at around 7 a.m. The coroner said Mr. Ong's underlying heart disease likely contributed to his death and that the medical care given to him was reasonable. However, he noted that communication with the family could have been better and urged hospitals to have more timely communication with patients' next of kin, especially in critical events. Expert reports found that the nest is believed to have been 5 to 8 months old based on its size, and the coroner said it may not have been spotted previously by pest control workers and National Parks Board staff if it was well-clothed fledged high up in the tree. The net and hornets were found and destroyed after the incident. Mr. Nakhoda said there are not reliable ways to prevent hornets from nesting, and that members of the Republic should refrain from getting close to hornet nests and call NParks as soon as they can to report the nest. He also extended his condolence to Mr. Ong's family, who were present and were seen tearing up during the hearing. Alright, back to national headlines for a while. The Philippine Coast Guard suspended sea travel late Saturday and Sunday for small vessels in the province of Romblon and Occidental Mindoro due to rough seas. The PCG advisory cited a 5 p.m. Saturday forecast by the Philippine Atmospheric Geophysical and Astronomical Service Administration. The forecast warns about a strong gale force wind that is expected to affect the southern seaboards of southern Luzon, including Romblon and Occidental Mindoro. This meant that all trips of vessels with 250 gross tonnage or less, like motorized passenger or fishing boats, are suspended. The order, separately issued and signed by PCG commanders in these areas, was posted on the Facebook page of the Coast Guard District Southern Tagalog late Saturday afternoon. The suspension order will be lifted and sea travel for small seacraft may be resumed anytime when the weather improves, based on Pagcasa's predictions, the PCG said. And finally, back to the headlines from around the world. On day one of Pope Francis' visit to the Asia Pacific, I called him, Your Holiness, unsure of how he would react if I misspoke. But on day 12, the last day of moving as a unit of about 150 as part of his entourage, Papa Fresco and San Pita are no longer awkward terms for me. Papa Francisco, I said my words opening a press conference that would run up the Ernest 12-day tour with Singapore as its last leg. I was the first reporter to ask the question. We are not in a room somewhere in the Vatican City, but 10 kilometers above ground on the charter Singapore Airlines flight, conveying the Pontiff, who has not been away from the Vatican City this long in his 11-year tenure, from Singapore back to Rome, Italy. So they watched as Pope Francis left his business class seat and inched toward us, clenching his walking stick in one hand. I want to thank all of you for your hard work, for your work, for your company on this trip, which is important, he said after settling down in his portable seat 2 arms length away from me. It was 12 p.m., about 45 minutes after we had lifted off from Changi Airport. This is too long here, so we're gonna stop here now. So, and that is it for koolNews at noon. As always, if you have any news suggestions or feedback that you would like to share, you can get in touch with us at tvhphilippines.news@gmail.com. Until then, I'm Carlo. We will see you later for more news headlines with koolNews at 4. Good afternoon.